fucking calculus. I have never used calculus in my life. But no, I gotta learn it because it's super important. All right, we're gonna try to hold this phone again and make another video. So, got another update on the health, and what's pretty cool is I finally am moving in the right direction and starting to get results. So, come to find out, the last update I made was when I first left the Functional Medicine Practitioner, and now all the blood results came back. So, if you guys remember back when, I had tested positive for an autoimmune disease, and I was going to all these different doctors and such and trying to figure out exactly what the fuck was taking place with me. And come to find out, I swapped up a lot with my diet, and I already knew that diet was important, but learning more and more that I have about balancing the macros, meaning eating a balance of proteins, carbs, and fats with every meal, has been changing things even more for me, and I've most definitely been getting a lot stronger, and the symptoms of things have been going down, which is phenomenal. And again, I also recommended that book last time, the UltraMind Solution. I would highly encourage you, once again, to check that book out, because that book is absolutely phenomenal and will get you on track faster and faster. I'm going to be getting on the wrong highway. Perfect. So I got the blood results back. So here's what's taken place. At this point, the biggest issues that I got going on are my cortisol levels are through the roof, which would make perfect sense because being stressed out and such between what I do and also struggling with all the health stuff on the back end and all the difficulties and such. So the cortisol levels are through the roof. The insulin, even in the mornings, my insulin is very high. I do not quite understand insulin resistance, so if you want to really learn about that, you can look into it. But the insulin levels, the way that they're working is that I'm starting out already with a baseline that's really high, meaning as soon as I go to eat, my insulin levels just blast through the roof, right? And then I have insulin resistance, and it causes spikes and crashes and all different types of issues, and the cortisol to go up even higher, and that can also play into like some of the anxiety. It's so incredible how much about health I'm learning due to the fact that my health has been in the shitter for so long. So I share all of this with you just to, for many, many reasons, just to kind of encourage you guys to keep going. What I want to put out there though is that back when I was trying the normal route, quote unquote normal, which is ass backwards, back when I was trying to do the normal route to things, what was happening is that, they wanted to put me on all different medications for things, and they wanted to treat me for Lyme's disease because the symptoms I had were like Lyme's disease, right? When I, days I couldn't walk and my knee was all inflamed and I was chronically tired and always achy and always all this stuff. All the symptoms that I had and all the symptoms that we have as a species in response to the constant over-the-top, the constant over-the-top onslaught of all the toxins and issues that we deal with in our society, plus the stresses and the downgraded food and additives and all the other bullshit that we deal with. These symptoms are all just of a body that is not healthy. Not necessarily do the symptoms need to be diagnosed and then treated as if that's the only issue, because so many diagnoses are just giving band-aids to things, and then it just grows. It's kind of like the Klonopin that I was prescribed. The Klonopin itself could be a great tool to overcome things, but the issue with Klonopin is that while you're taking Klonopin, it almost creates a crutch in your brain that if used for long periods of time, your brain just stops producing the chemicals that it's supposed to be, because it's almost like taking testosterone or some forms of steroids, where it just shuts down the production of testosterone from your testes. and then it can't come back, right? You know, depending on how much you abuse steroids and such. Klonopin's the same fucking way, just with your brain chemicals. You know, eventually the problem's getting worse behind the scenes, but you don't see it because you're not feeling it, because it's numbing you to it, and it's just continuing to just cause problems, because all it is a Band-Aid. So, and it's amazing how much I thought that I was taking care of myself, because, you know, I was eating a lot of vegetables a day, but the kind of vegetables that I was eating was a lot of peas and green beans, and green beans are fine, but peas themselves, peas turn to sugar because they are carbs, and I was eating such a high amount of them thinking that I was doing good. I was creating insulin issues for myself by eating so many peas because I wasn't portioning it out. And it's like, this is the knowledge that we're supposed to be taught in schools. This is the knowledge that I would love to create some form of a database, whether it's online or something where people could go, almost like a college for life, where you're taught real life skills along the lines of how to eat right. Why the fuck don't we know how to eat right? And it's because it's all corporate conglomerates trying to convince everybody that eating bread, 12 servings, or whatever the fuck damn pyramid is, which is bought and paid for and forced down kids' throats as if that's going to keep them balanced in life. All the knowledge that we have about foods and everything that we're consuming and what we're doing, it's all ass backwards because it's bought and paid for. And it's like, there should be a school or a place or a university that teaches how to eat right, how to manage your financial situations, how to be in a relationship, how to fight right, how to communicate with your partner, how to communicate yourself, how to have confidence, how to fucking all this how to like shit that actually matters, as opposed to like fucking calculus. I have never used calculus in my life, but no, I gotta learn it because it's super important. Like, it's fucking. Anyways, so the results that came back, my blood results are no longer crazy fucked up, which is great. I mean, the testosterone's still low, which we're working on, and all these different things that, you know, from the insulin to the cortisol levels to certain vitamins being low and such, all of that, it's all fucking curable. Like, all of it. The testosterone, everything. It's all curable. But not if you go the route of, you know, the typical go to see a doctor and treat things with like high blood pressure medication or whatever the fuck. That shit doesn't work. It's all Band-Aids. It's all bullshit. It's all part of it, the way that they just get people in the system, because you can't make money off people who are healthy. It's ass backwards. You can't make money if you can't patent it. And it's like, this is the stuff that people really need to know about, you know? And, you know, the fact that I'm starting to just function at a higher and higher and higher and higher level is just incredible to me. Being able to focus on what I'm talking about and not have such bad ADD, despite the fact that I jump around in these videos, it makes sense in my head, but not have such bad ADD that I can't even hold a conversation, or brain fog out the ass, or, you know, all these other mental and physical ailments. They don't need to be there. Not for me, not for you, not for anybody. And it's just kind of like, I got the results back, and what we're finding is that at this point, because I've been taking care of myself more and more, and because I've been eating right, and because I've been relaxing and taking time for myself, a lot of the markers that were setting off, you know, possible diagnoses are now, I don't even know if that's a word, diagnoses, but we're going to roll with it, are now so much lower that it's now to almost a manageable level. And the big issues I got now are the cortisol levels spike at night. And I think the insulin is causing an issue, but I can't explain it, so we're going to go with cortisol. The cortisol levels spike at night, probably because a lot of the stuff that used to go on with me that, you know, fucked me up a bit, happened at night, as well as just for whatever chemical imbalances, right? So the cortisol spikes at night, so when I try to go to sleep, I don't get into deep sleep. And the apnea that I had before was screwing up the breathing, and it was just a fucking walking nightmare is what I was. So slowly but surely getting through this. This is started about 8 years ago, but really came to a head about 1.5 to 2 years ago when my body just gave out, because you can only push so much with willpower. But what is super cool is that slowly understanding more and more, I've been able to help friends of mine with things. I've been able to guide other people towards what they want to do. And in the goals of trying to become the best version of myself, it's kind of like somebody who has an obstacle to overcome in life. Once they overcome that obstacle, they know so much about overcoming the obstacle that they can like slingshot themselves forward when people who never dealt with that obstacle can't get to the levels of the person who dealt with it in the first place, because they either don't have the drive, they haven't been tested, like battle tested, or they don't have as much background knowledge. Like, for example, once I get to the point where I can truly understand how like to balance everything out, which I am probably halfway or farther there at this point, of understanding like how to be able to fall asleep well and how to use meditation properly and winding down at night, as well as what specific supplements are going to produce or help produce the best brain chemicals to keep me in a deep sleep for longer. Dude, I could sleep hack myself once I get to a certain point. Meaning that once you can sleep hack yourself enough, you can sleep for way less time a night, but get way more quality sleep, and then have way more time to apply towards your goals or whatever you're going after. And it's like, by me dealing with all this stuff for so long and having my body screaming alarm signals all the time, it'll probably aid me, later in life. And like that's the thing that I try to get across on this channel. Dude, my life has been a shitstorm for so long, but by having a different perspective, by cultivating a different perspective of saying, okay, this is going to be worth it after it's handled. This is going to be overcome. This is going to be used for my good, right? Having that perspective, or cultivating it and getting it to the level that it's at nowadays, allows me to take all this shit that like could have just been a poor me victim for the rest of my life and just laid there and fucking been miserable or just killed myself. Took all that stuff and am trying to apply it for good, even if it's just to reach a few of you guys on this channel, because this channel isn't huge or anything, but it's helpful. I think it's helpful, for anybody out there who's dealing with shit. So anyways, so it's all good news, and I'm getting on like 12 different supplements, which sounds fucking excessive, but I understand what they're all for, from stuff to support the neurotransmitters, which in my brain just aren't operating properly because of such lack of sleep and being a chronic insomniac for so long. Hold on while I pull an illegal maneuver. We're just gonna speed up right here, and then we're gonna slow down, and we're pulling in and getting beeped at. That's what we're doing. All right, sounds good to me. So, with all that stated in mind, I highly wish you guys all the luck on everything that you're doing. So I'm getting on all these supplements and such. That's a beautiful truck. Look at this fucking thing. I love giant fucking trucks. Must be compensating. So anyways, I'm getting on all these supplements. According to the guy I'm going to see, he says that I should feel incredibly different within 1 month to 3 months, which is super, super cool. And the fact that I'm getting answers about things is also super cool. And the fact that I'm all getting it from one thing, which is literally optimize the body for the best results that you can get. Because our bodies are able to do all this stuff by ourselves. We don't need these magic fucking pills. We don't need the one key to, becoming happy and healthy, or whatever new drugs coming out on the market for us to inject in ourselves, or all that bullshit. It's, you just got to learn how to take care of yourself. You have to learn how to balance out. Surround yourself with positive people. Cut out the toxic ones. Eat right. Fucking supplement right if you find that you have deficiencies in certain areas. Sleep well. Take care of yourself. Exercise. All that kinds of shit. But the problem is nobody can package it because everybody's so fucking lazy. Nobody wants to do it. So, anyways, I thought it's pretty cool that I'm making my way down this journey. I'm feeling better and better, And I hope you guys are out there too. You know, again, the UltraMind Solution, that book, I don't get any kickbacks. Just buy the fucking thing and study the shit out of it. That's right. Study the shit out of that. All right, I'm done. Subscribe if you like this shit. Talk to you later. Bye.
Fuck that, don't put me on your level. I am not like you, I'm not gonna settle. Body bag, got a right tag, I'll be right